Okay, hi everybody. I've just done this video basically, or rather I'm just doing this video now to address the vexing question of battery life. Now, much as we all love our smartphones, of course the one frustrating bugbear which continues to be problematic is the issue of battery life. But surprisingly there are some solutions out there. And just before I start this, I just want to show you now, in case my battery is about to run out, I have actually ended up getting a replacement battery for my HTC EVO 3D here. I've put it on one charge and it's been on since then. It's been sort of low to medium usage, I suppose, more towards low usage. But even after one charge, before the battery's even got bedded in, I've had pretty good performance off of it. So I'll just show you here now. As you can see there, it's showing at 9% battery power remaining now. And if I just go into the settings, you see there's, obviously it's in one bar there in red. If I go in there, it's basically saying, I don't know if you can see that, 1 day, 3 hours, 23 minutes, 4 seconds. That's how long it's been on, so we've got nearly 27.5 hours out of that. I think that's not bad at all. Obviously we all have that worry if we're going out in the morning and we know we're likely to be using our phone a lot. We still have that worry, you know, will my fantastic smartphone actually get me through the day? Smartphones have been around for a while now, and this has been an issue from their inception, so you would think that manufacturers would have fixed this problem by now. But unfortunately, they don't seem to have. Of course, it's a difficult thing because they have to keep pace with developing technology and its increasing power demands, so I suppose it's not exactly an easy task. In my case, of course, when your daily driver is the HTC EVO 3D with 1.2 GHz dual-core processor and 3D display, and all of the other usual smartphone goodies, power issues are even more of a concern. So if you're getting the latest phone with all of the latest facilities on it, one of the things that you really want to know is what's it going to be like on battery life? Is it going to get you through the day? So obviously battery life also tends to be slightly more of an issue with Android phones than with some other systems, but you've got to remember that this is mostly due to the fact that compared to other phones, Android phones just are able to do much more, and they do it better and they do it all at the same time, much more than other phones are capable of, so we can't really complain too much. So a lot of you have been asking on YouTube and on Twitter how I'm finding the EVO on battery life, and in particular how it compares to the HTC Sensation. I've got this Sensation here as well, still got that. I will be selling that on soon, so if anybody's interested, let me know. So basically, I always like to leave a week or so before commenting on battery life, because batteries do definitely take a few full charging cycles to kind of bed in and start giving their best performance. Of course, the amount of time usage you get out of a single charge will vary massively depending on just exactly how you use your phone and what kind of tasks you perform with it. As I've mentioned in replies to comments here on YouTube, on my Sensation, which is still a great phone, still love it, but basically on my Sensation I was getting in the range of about 20 to 24 hours at low usage, medium usage perhaps 14 to 20 hours, heavy usage 10 to 14 hours, and extra heavy usage you're likely only to get between about 8 and 10 hours. If you're usually a heavy user like me, that can be pretty annoying when you can't even get through a working day without your phone starting to die on you. Obviously that's an issue and not something that we want to put up with, really. Of course, Android does provide a range of power management settings which are easy to use and which will make a big difference to power consumption. I mean, obviously, one thing that a lot of people use is, of course, the little power management widget that you've got there, which will allow you to turn off your Wi-Fi, turn off your GPS, oops, which I just done by accident, turn off your refreshing. Back to the battery that I was getting on this, as I say, it's been going for 28 hours. And that was with nothing turned off, nothing on power saver or anything. Wi-Fi was still on, mobile network was still on, GPS was still on. It didn't actually go into power save until about 2:30. It was actually 2:28, so it was about 2 hours ago. So you had your full range of facilities available without compromising on battery power right up until 2 hours ago, so that was like 26 hours. So I had a really good usage out of this first charge. So yeah, as I say, Android do provide plenty of power management options. You've got your power management widget there. You've also got, of course, you can go into your quick settings and you can turn things off from there. You can go into your task killer and just turn programs off, which could possibly, depending on what you're using, make a tiny bit of difference. But if you start using all of these power management options and you use them pretty well, it can make a big difference. So if you find yourself out and about and your battery's running out, it's worth playing about with these settings, and it will probably change things so that you are able to get home and put your phone on charge. But of course, as we've said, it's not really good enough that you can't know if you go out in the morning and you're going to have heavy usage whether or not your phone's going to get you through the day. The thing with these power management options is that they're a compromise. Yes, they'll give you a longer battery, but it means you're going to have to put up with a dim screen, or you're going to have to put up with turning Wi-Fi or mobile network off, etc. And I think, in my view, really, you shouldn't have to compromise on those kind of things except in occasional emergency circumstances. I've found as a heavy user that sometimes listens to 3 hours of podcasts and audiobooks in a day, as well as a lot of browsing and other everyday phone usage, that my battery is usually getting low by about 4 to 5:30 PM, and I have to start messing around with the power settings in order to keep my phone going until I can get home and put it on charge. And that's not really a good situation. That's that's what I was experiencing with the HTC Sensation. Now, the HTC Sensation has a battery capacity of 1520 mAh compared to the EVO 3D, which has 1730 mAh. So in theory, I was hoping that I might get slightly longer out of a single charge on my EVO than I did on my Sensation. But of course, the EVO has slightly more RAM, has the 3D tech, and it's running Android 2.3.4, so the two phones are not identically matched. And I was expecting that some of the EVO's extra capacity would be offset by these factors. In actuality, I found that in my normal everyday usage I was getting about the same time between charging on my EVO as I was on my Sensation. Although last week, I must admit, I was out and about on a bit of an all-day session with some mates, just drinking in town, and of course I didn't expect to get through to the next morning with my phone still running. My phone, and in particular the 3D features, caused a lot of interest, so I was taking quite a few 3D pictures, a few 3D videos, and looking at several 3D YouTube vids. Now, at some point in the evening, my phone, of course, automatically went onto its power-saving settings. I'm not sure at what time that happened, but I was surprised to see that the next morning my EVO 3D was still running and had about 20% or 2 bars of charge showing. So it seems that my EVO was able to last a lot longer on power save than I expected. Now, that's good to know. Of course, as soon as you start calling or doing other tasks on the phone, that 20%, I'm sure, would have disappeared pretty quickly. But it's good to know that in an emergency situation you've got a good chance of retaining the ability to at least make or accept a quick call or use your phone to look up information, and that you've got that ability for a good long time. So I was pretty impressed with that. Having said that though, the situation of not being able to get through a whole day if you happen to have heavy phone usage on that particular day is not really acceptable to me. So I thought, what solutions, if any, exist out there? I was very surprised to find that there are a number of inexpensive solutions available for this problem. A quick Google search will bring up several replacement battery options. These replacement batteries come in a variety of shapes and sizes. I was able to find batteries in sizes of 1500, 1600, 1730, 1800, 1900, 2400, 3600 and even 4000 mAh. There should hopefully be a link on screen now which will take you to these batteries listed on amazon.co.uk. However, of course, it's not always a case of just buying a battery and slotting it straight into your device. The bigger capacity batteries, anything from 2400 mAh upwards it seems, are also bigger in actual physical size and come complete with replacement backplate that have to be utilised instead of the one supplied with your phone. At first I was thinking of getting one of the 35 or 3600 mAh replacement batteries. Now these, as you'll see from the Amazon link, come with a completely blank black backplate, and on second thoughts I didn't really want to give up the nice feeling, nice looking backplate of my phone. The phone does look pretty good, even with the old brown D-ring instead of the the red one that's available on the American EVOs. And basically, I mean, you want people to know that you've got an EVO 3D when you use it. I have had people see me use it and ask about it. I know it's just a daft, posy little kind of thing, but if you've paid good money for a phone and the makers have taken the trouble to design a distinctive look, then you don't really want to have to compromise on that. So the physically bigger battery option was out for me. The option will suit some people, but I didn't want to have to compromise on the look of my phone. I was also wary, though, of plumping for one of the amazingly cheap, smaller capacity batteries available from companies I'd never heard of, so I went looking for other options. Eventually, at a site called mobilefun.co.uk, you should find the link on screen now, hopefully, I found 3 other options. They stock the official HTC EVO 3D battery and 2 other replacement batteries from a company called CDO. CDO are a very well established and well known company in the US which provide a wide range of mobile phone accessories. Mobilefun.co.uk stock 2 CDO batteries for the EVO 3D, a massive 4000 mAh one and another at 1900 mAh. Obviously the 4000 mAh battery comes with a replacement back cover, and although you can't really tell from the picture on the site, this back cover is pretty damn big. When fitted, it will make your phone effectively a lot thicker and will give it a kind of wedge shape. If you're thinking of getting this battery, I recommend that you find some videos of this battery fitted onto the phone on YouTube before buying, as this really is a big battery and cover. In the end, I decided that I would order the 1900 mAh CDO battery from mobilefun.co.uk at $29.95. Now on Amazon, they have slightly lower capacity batteries available at a much cheaper price, but these are from companies I've never heard of and at prices so ridiculously low that I didn't really want to chance them. Obviously you can check those out in the link, and these batteries might be fantastic, but I decided to go with a company that I know and trust, despite their product being many times more expensive than the cheap ones on Amazon. But of course you might give those a try and they might be great. So there are solutions to this problem out there, but you're going to have to compromise one way or the other. Either you're going to have to put up with a bigger phone in your pocket and the looks of your expensive smartphone spoilt, or you'll have to put up with carrying around a spare battery and swapping them over if you get low. I carry my headphones in a small pouch anyway with room for the spare battery, so this doesn't seem so much of a problem for me. Of course, we shouldn't have to do any of this. Why don't manufacturers just give us bigger batteries in our phones to start with? As I've said before, I really don't mind if my phone is a few millimetres wider if it means that I get a larger capacity battery. Of course, I blame the iPhone partly. Every few months they bring out a new version that is almost exactly the same as the one before but slightly thinner. So manufacturers of Android phones also are now obsessed with thinness, for fear that their latest phones might be called a brick in comparison. And this is at a time when phones are developing in ways that mean they need more power. I mean, I don't know what anybody watching this thinks. Is it really important for you to have a wafer-thin phone, or would you rather have a slightly bigger phone with a battery that lasts longer? Anyway, I now have the CDO 1900 mAh battery in my EVO 3D, and I'll let you know how it goes. As I said, I gave it one full charge and it's been running on that since then. It's been pretty low usage. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, I did listen to an audiobook in the Audible app through the phone speaker with the screen on constantly so that I could pause and flip backwards, etc. in the app. I did that for about half an hour. Apart from that, I'd only really done a little bit of browsing and watched a few YouTube vids, but the phone has now been running for over 28 hours, which I think is pretty good. So that's pretty good for a first charge, I reckon. I'll let you know in the comments of this video how the CDO battery is performing after a week or so's use, but certainly so far I'm pretty damn pleased with it. So it is good to know that there are solutions to this problem out there, but as I say, it's a problem we shouldn't have to deal with. The manufacturers should just put bigger batteries in the first place. If you've got any more questions about battery life or anything else, just let me know in the comment or in Twitter or Google+. I've also just got hold of an MHL adapter, so I'm going to try and hook it up to the TV and show you in the next video. Okay, thanks a lot, bye now.